Hi friends, my name is Borrodante and welcome back to the Outlandish Curiosity. So we're back to this, and let's finish today the work on the outfits for Ulsok, because I'm really happy about the way the first one came out. We'll actually finish it because there's more to come with the arms and everything. So we'll finish that part and then we'll work on the other two. Shouldn't forget that this is actually a girl. So that would be an interesting variation. So as I mentioned in the end of the previous episode, let's use a bit of a tinier line even, because this was quite on edge, like lines a bit too thick. I feel like it's not, like it's almost not enough definitive to work with color later. Like if it would be tinier, it would be a bit better. Like it's way not enough of a reason to restart it, of course, but yeah. So let's see. Let's actually build a skeleton a bit, because I don't think we have a very well defined arms there at all. Yeah. Yeah, basically finished at the elbow. I guess it's actually the right way to go, but still, in the sketch, it's a good idea to make things well defined. Because whenever something is fading away, the color and the contrast should fade away, but not the geometry. The accuracy of anatomy and geometry shouldn't become worse. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it should be well done, it's just gonna be less of a contrast on it afterwards. So I'm gonna lower the opacity on this guy, and now we'll think through the way he's actually standing. So anyway, we have this rib cage, and it's the center, the beginning, where the clavicles begin. And then they continue and meet the scapula from the back. And scapula is actually the bone where the joint for the arm starts. So this is what this whole part is made of. Rib cage plus scapula and clavicles meeting together, and that's where the arm starts. And the first portion, the shoulder, goes up to the point where the ribcage ends, basically, the slimmest area of the torso. So I guess there's no sense at all at drawing the actual hands, because they're definitely not gonna be seen. Okay, now we make this transparent and build some muscles on top. Not too much though, we don't actually need to add any details here. Mostly the bicep and everything that goes lower in the forearm. I actually made a bit of a mistake with one of the SCP episodes, the SCP-096, that I said that this muscle, the cool muscle of the forearm, it starts before the elbow. That's true, but not as much as I drew it. And because of that, I kind of made the forearms a lot longer than the shoulders, which didn't work right, and we have to change that now. So yeah, it starts like the widening area starts already like right after, or kind of starts, but the maximum width is already after the joint. And what's interesting, actually this muscle doesn't go all the way to the end. It kind of fades here, and then another wild muscle appears. And that actual muscle goes up to the thumb area where it connects to this joint. So, not as simple as I thought. I didn't look up anything, I just looked at my hand for an hour and I figured it out. I actually kinda learned it, the way all the muscles work, but you kinda forget it after a while. Especially that applies for the back muscles. I forget them all the time. I kinda have a basic idea what they're like, but yeah, you just keep forgetting them. Okay, that's a pretty good anatomy, I would say. Good enough for us for sure. Okay, now let's do the other one. Okay, I don't have to go through this anatomy, but it just looks so nice. I want to finish it. So the pec muscle twists a lot. And by twists, I mean that the bottom part connects somewhere higher, middle one connects somewhere in the middle, and the very top one, there's like a special strip that is connecting to this clavicle here. It goes downwards and connects to the lowest point. So the whole muscle goes like this. That's what I learned on Proco. I think I actually mentioned this before. Okay, cool. Now this is some kind of a skinless person. Let's call it down here. Let's maybe draw anatomy on the other characters before going with other parts of outfits and all that. So this guy stands really straight. But the line of his scapula, like if you're looking at me right now, the scapula has this kind of bow going on. So because I'm tilted forward. This guy has it completely straight, even though when the person is standing completely straight, the whole thing is still tilted forward a little bit. But since these guys are kind of above us, it becomes flat straight. So applying that idea that I had before on how to start drawing everything after the head, after we had the head going on with the whole approach of building it from the cranial part, we draw the neck depending on what kind of character it is, male, female, strong, not strong, masculine, not masculine. We draw the line, then we connect this muscle from the beginning of clavicles to ears, or right behind ears. This thing goes right there. Now, we don't draw clavicles too far away because they disappear pretty quickly. Then we add these muscles, and we have this cool triangle going on. This is a good start to begin drawing a good three-dimensional torso. And clavicles hold these shoulder muscles and these pecs as well at the top. Cool. Now the beginning of the neck, this lower plane, this is literally the plane, the top hole of the rib cage. And that's where it goes downwards from and creates the rest of the torso. Oh yeah, in masculine big characters, it's a good idea to spread open like this, the rib cage, make this shape. Women, usually they have this kind of shape, this opening in the rib cage. But also it's just because we're looking from the bottom, so it even looks more open. Cool. I think I make more and more sense out of this anatomy build-up, the basic one, like the front one, with each time I draw it again and again. Maybe one day I'll grow to actually make a tutorial on anatomy. Nips. Nips. Good. I think this stuff should be a bit wider here. Okay, let's do the girl. And I'm way less confident. I'm so unconfident with girls. With drawing girls, because there's certain, like, I basically go with the male anatomy, but then just femalify it. So let's see. Cranial? Come on. This is the first session I have today, so my arm is a bit rusty. Eyebrows, ears. So far, no real change between men and women. Except for maybe we make the jaw a bit more narrow, like this. Yeah, a nice gently female skull. Romantic. Now, a couple of cool tricks. The bottom line of ears in 3 dimensions, so we slightly kind of like follow the sphere geometry here. But this line is the bottom line of the nose and the middle of the eyes, where the actual pupils are, is the edges of the mouth. So this looks like the crow now. And somewhere in here, always, like, if you don't know how to vertically position the mouth, always think that it's probably a lot less of a distance from the bottom of the nose that you think it is. Like, find the bottom of the nose and just step a little bit downwards. You can't go too little, because it's a really short distance. Again, no actual need to draw any facial features at all for the characters that wear masks, but I mean, locating eyes is a good thing to start for the mask anyway, so yeah, at least that. So this is the eyebrow line. The actual eyes are somewhat around here, with terrifying look without any eyelids. Cool. And closer to the middle, but again with this fixed to the angle, so we go a bit bent upwards. So in here, this is the part, the deepest area of this nosal stuff. So this is where the nose starts, and this is where it ends. And this is a really cool part. the beauty part, actually. When it's pretty good and well defined, it looks really nice. Creates a good bow for the eyebrows. I like it when it's kind of big. Sometimes I prefer making it a bit bigger than usual. And then we just start with the nose. Okay, now, one thing to make sure that this is a female, not a male, is making the neck a lot slimmer than it is in this previous version. Usually when we draw a man, we almost get the width of the head and go slightly slimmer, just not necessary even. Sometimes necks are even wider than the head. Check out the guys from the band called Cannibal Corpse. That's the neck. If I'm not mistaken, I don't really listen to them, but I remembered that neck. So anyway, we go like a lot slimmer, a bit more distance at the right side because the head is slightly rotated to the left or to the right. Alright, so then we create these muscles that should meet the clavicles. And then we add the clavicles. Still a straight line because we're from the bottom. It probably feels like a lot, but after you like go through the system again and again and again, making sense out of all the shapes so they would look like a solid piece of meat, it becomes really nice to work with and actual people come out. Not too much of the trapezius here, like don't make it very masculine because these muscles don't usually grow very strongly on women. It usually goes big only on men. So we could actually make it a bit bigger, like it has this kind of shape usually. So there's an actual bump, but not necessarily. So anyway, this is where the rib cage starts. Okay, we shouldn't rotate this area all that much. The rib cage should be still facing us because this point is facing us. Or should we rotate here? Yeah, she's probably just looking at us like she's rotating her head in the neck, not in the chest. So what I'm trying to say is we should follow a stronger angle right away. So the neck will be actually connecting to the center that is already facing to the right a lot. And for that we just rotate this area a bit. Like that. That's it. Now we do the rib cage again. Now the breasts part, I kind of build it up on top of the shape of the pecs, making it a bit lower as we established in the recent episodes. It should go a bit lower and having this kind of shape going away. Seems nice. I dig. Should the breast be a little bit lower? Feels like it should. This constant gravity question for the breasts. I mean, this is highly dependent on the age of the person, but still there's a limit. They shouldn't be like here. Yeah, okay, a bit too round, but I guess that's more than good enough for having a bunch of armor on top. Okay, 3 naked people. Alright, let's add some extra stuff. Only this forearm looks really slim now. This one should be pressed closer, judging by the new anatomy. Okay, cool. Now let's do the main guy. He should have maybe like the most awesome armor. Not necessary, but I mean this one is already pretty awesome. I don't know how far we can go from that. Kinda like that. Protecting his neck from the side. Ooh, so this thing will be kind of like a wide plane that is protecting the ribs. And on top of it, there will be another thing that goes into a middle. And it's long, and it's kind of soft. Like made of these kind of steps, but a lot. We won't really see the end of it behind the fire, but yeah. So this guy is the sun. Shouldn't forget that, so let's add a sun symbol. I have no idea, I haven't asked Kevin about this. If it's not a big deal that they have like some kind of spiritual objects about these guys specifically. Well, if anything, we just remove the symbols. At first we should finish something. the best way to divide something into even divisions is to first split it in half, then those two halves in half, and in half and in half. So you would make sure that you keep having even distances everywhere. And it's kind of a lot easier to comprehend as well. Now this is some heavy duty armor. Now let's do the skull. It should be the same kind of skull because this is the toughest animal. Okay, cool. I keep super quiet every time I draw these because I'm like so anxious to mess it up. Let's actually just mirror this one. Okay, now let's add hair and all this parade stuff on top. Okay, this sausage isn't pleasant. It shouldn't go to the left all that much. We want to get a bit more symmetrical for the main guy. So it should hang downwards like this with the gravity. Okay, cool. The second guy is done. I think he turned out pretty epic. Now let's do the girl, the third Ulsok, and call it done for this episode. But first I'll take a little bit of a break. Okay, let's draw the girl. There we go. Solved the mystery of how to create armor around breasts. And this is like the symbol of water, maybe? Something like that. Okay, so going with this kind of setup for a female Ulsok. Kind of makes sense to make it different in a lot of ways, right? In any culture, a woman is always dressed differently. Now let's do the identical skull to other ones. Okay, cool. I'm trying to bring some variety into skulls, so they would have like, even though it's the same type of skull, they would still have different faces, sort of. Wow, this one went so cool. I don't know, it's a bit slimmer looking, but there's something awesome about it. I guess the triangular shape of the head is very dynamic here or something. And also asymmetrical. Forgot to make the bloody symbols on the skulls. Now let's do the hair and that would be it, I guess. A little silhouette of other hair in the very back, like that. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So yeah, I guess we're done with the Ulsok design. And Treboss are looking pretty awesome. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool to paint over. So we have this ceremony shot left. And this master shot of all the village saying goodbye to Gilbert. Not sure how much details will be in there, but we need to provide some more specific anatomy for all the people. And Gilbert's portrait is awesome, I think, so we'll see what Kevin says about the Ulsok design, and you guys tell me what you think about all the three characters here. I gotta say, it was a lot of fun, like creating certain differences in their outfits. Really cool. So yeah, I guess this is it for now. And I thank you for watching if you did. I guess you did if you're here. Leave a like and subscribe, tell a friend, wear a tinfoil hat, do whatever you want. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Wear a tinfoil diaper.